They just say, trust me, not your lying eyes, not your lying ears, and, ignore the data, ignore the metrics. It really is remarkable. The left is it is a religion. Let's compare, since we're talking about Florida, let's compare California and Florida. I don't know if you know this, Newsom, your state. I don't know why you're still there.
Good
Gavin,
question.
Straight out of
Every time I come here, I breathe a little easier.
Yeah, you do. Well, I breathe easier here than Florida's a great state with the red tide.
I like Florida.
It's true. So, but Neil is at 10, right?
10.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we got a few.
All right, looking forward to it. California Governor Gavin Newsom. Okay. Called out Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, you know these people, for sending migrants to California. But what he says and how he tries to frame it
it's awesome.
is pretty funny. See if you can catch why.
Clip one.
It's not one.
These flights of asylum seekers that are being brought to Sacramento, there have been 2 of them now. They've been described as state-sanctioned kidnapping by the Attorney General of this state, of California. You tweeted directly at the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. I want to get this right. You called him a small, pathetic man and asked, quote, kidnapping charges? Is that what you believe happened, Governor Newsom, that Florida kidnapped migrants and brought them to California?
I think I'm being generous, small, and pathetic. Very generous. He's just weakness masquerading as strength. Yeah, he's flailing, desperate for attention.
I suppose your weakness masquerading as weakness.
Yes, desperate for attention. By the way, there's no more dangerous place in California than between him and a camera. And that's saying something because it's California.
Yes. That guy practices everything he's going to say in front of the mirror.
Absolutely. This guy is...
with that sincere look down and then just coming up.
His entire life is desperation for attention. That is all he is.
And by the way, DeSantis did send 36 willing migrants to Sacramento.
California is a nice place.
Yeah. I mean, I would prefer to be in Florida. By the way, here they are laughing on a plane. Look at them like, ah!
That one guy's doing a gun signal, which will be fine in California because they can't have guns. So
hey, California, we're in your state, going through all your taxpayer-funded stuff. You better come out and stop us.
9.
Newsom, your voting constituency. Woof. So, here's the thing, too, that I think DeSantis made a really good point on, and I've talked about this when we did the Build the Wall, Change My Mind. Okay, people will say, well, what about Anchor? What about Dreamers? All right. We need to take any argument, and hopefully if I've ever done anything for you, if I've provided anything of value, it's teach you how to, or help you, provide you with some tools in how to think and how to rationalize your position. An important component of that is reducing it to its rate-limiting factor. So when they say, what about kids whose parents came here illegally, they were born here? Yes, I think all of us can agree that that is an issue.
Yeah.
That is going to be, it's difficult to solve because you're compassionate for those children. You're compassionate for people who didn't make a mistake, even if their parents did. However, that's not the issue. Because what's happening in the United States is you can't deport violent felons who are overcrowding our prisons, who have no business being here. So what you respond is, okay, let's say that we made an exception for Dreamers, for kids, for anchor babies. Can we deport anyone else here who is here illegally, at least if they've committed a crime, immediately? No. Why? They have sanctuary cities.
Right.
It's like abortion. When they say, what about rape and incest? You say, okay, if we make an exception for rape and incest, can we then put limitations on all other abortions or at least third trimester? No. Then it's not about rape and incest. That's not the rate limiting factor. Don't let them back you up.
Right.
Back you up into this corner with a very small percentage extreme example.
It's called hard cases make bad laws.
Yes, exactly. And that is the basis for their laws. So DeSantis actually said that he's just giving these sanctuary cities where you can't do anything. And by the way, it hurts brown people. I don't know if you know this. Brown immigrants who are here, who want to be here legally, they don't want to be living next to MS-13. There goes the neighborhood. Turns your house into a cheese grater. Here's DeSantis talking about sanctuary cities being given exactly what they ask for.
Clip one.
It's not one.
So here's the thing. These sanctuary jurisdictions are part of the reason we have this problem, because they have endorsed and agitated for these types of open border policies. They have bragged that they are sanctuary jurisdictions. They attack the previous administration's efforts to try to have border security. And so that's the policies they've staken out. And then what? When they have to deal with some of the fruits of that, they all of a sudden become very, very upset about that.
Were you about to say something there, Gerald?
No. I love that he, by the way, he
I have no peripheral vision, by the way. So
it's hard.
Today it'll help if you just raise your. So if I'm cutting you guys up, raise your hand. Because if I'm looking at Jim, what? What did he say?
I love that he partnered up with Texas. He's like, look, if you guys get some migrants that you want to send somewhere, just let me know. We'll put out. You're looking really strange. Right
There it is. There it is.
I feel very strange right now.
hell is going
Okay,
on?
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. If you have some migrants, well, I'll pay to fly them.
Yes.
These weren't people in Florida. And he could, because I guess maybe some people coming over in boats or something like that. I don't know, but he could do that. But he's like, hey, El Paso, you got any people? Listen, put up a flyer that says, "Want to go to California?"
Yeah.
And we'll take people who sign up. That's exactly what he did, by the
Right,
way.
yeah.
He literally did that in El Paso. He's like, I'll pay for the plane ride.
And then they realized once they got to California that it's not what they thought it was.
No, it's
This is not like Boys in the Hood.
no.
Well, all I was thinking in that clip as I was watching, I like DeSantis, and I thought in a fight, I got DeSantis all day long.
I don't
In
know.
the octagon, between him and Gavin?
I don't know.
Really?
I'm not sure.
You don't say.
I don't know.
Why? Well,
Here's
Gavin's a
the thing,
big kid.
look. I like Ron DeSantis, and I will vote for whoever the Republican nominee is. I'm not voting for Biden. Okay, just to be clear. Unless it's Chris
Right.
Christie, then I probably won't vote. But
There's no way.
no, there's no. I mean,
Tons
way.
of fun can't make
No,
it happen.
Of course not. Look at the actuary tables. Now, DeSantis, I get the feeling that he kind of will become less likable the more he's on camera.
But I like that you notice how he's leaning, like he's kind of like relaxed and leaning on his elbows. That's a good look for him. It kind of makes him more casual, not as stiff.
What are you, his photographer?
Yes. Just lean on
Lean?
your elbows.
Yeah.
Relax.
Now watch.
me
He's going to be
relax.
brought up. Brian Cowan will be brought on as a consultant, and then DeSantis will be doing the Sears catalog pose.
That's
From
right.
every
Get your hair in your eyes.
family picture.
Get your hair.
It'd be like, can you believe this body?
But here's the thing. Newsom says it's weakness masquerading as strength. Okay. Now, I don't know. If we're talking about a governor, I would measure strength by outcomes for the state.
There you go.
For example,
Results.
Yes.
what's the standard of living?
Right.
What's the economy like? Safety.
How many
Is
people
there law
wanna
and
move
order?
there?
How many people want to?
How many
Legally?
businesses
Legally?
have moved there as opposed to leave?
Exactly.
There you go.
Net positive as opposed to net
Yes.
negative.
Those sound
Now,
like good metrics.
Right. I think that Gavin Newsom's definition of strength is sucking. Because here are the numbers, all references are available. So let's go population first. California lost population. Florida gained population. 2022, California lost 138,000 people, which is crazy. You have the
That's a lot.
ocean.
Yeah.
You have the
Mountains.
ocean, you have mountains, you have snow, you have
wine.
everything.
You have
Sunshine,
wine.
no rain.
Florida, where 6 palmetto bugs can be turned into one Impossible Burger, they added 318,000 people.
There you
they
go.
added 318. California lost 138,000. Now here's something else. You may not fewer people, especially if you have a bunch of people, largely losers in California. Sorry, Brian, not you. I mean, I don't mean you.
Thank you. It's okay.
There are fewer taxpayers. So California has a $32 billion deficit.
Oh,
Florida, $21.8 billion surplus.
And growing, apparently, because
And
it's
growing.
increasing every time
Which
we do it.
shocked me because the last time we covered Florida's surplus, it wasn't that long ago. It had not reached over the teens yet,
Yeah, it was somewhere in the high teens.
which
I
is
thought.
an alarming rate on the positive side. So California is doing really well, according to DeSantis, and Florida is not doing well. Okay, no one wants to go there, and you don't have any money, and you're overspending, and you have sanctuary cities, and people are less safe in California.
And by the way, more people are dying in Florida, and they still added more people in California. I mean, it's heaven's waiting room, literally.
Yes.
And they're losing people by the thousands just from being old, and they're still outgaining you?
We're not taking into account some of the intangibles here, okay? Governor Gavin Newsom. This thing keeps getting caught in my I might take it off here soon.
No, it's fine.
Governor Gavin Newsom is basically manager, okay? I mean, he's a patsy for the higher-ups.
Right.
He's basically a shift manager for paradise. And he has driven hundreds of thousands of people to a swampland where alligators flourish like squirrels because of how terrible of a job he's done with his states. Do you have any idea what a skill set that is? And he has the nerve to say that, this is the gaslighting.
man.
Florida's bad. Really? How is it bad? Because I said so. CNN, they shouldn't have had the town hall. Why do you say? Because I say so. But it's the only thing that was successful for you guys. They just say, trust me, not your lying eyes, not your lying ears. And, ignore the data, ignore the metrics. It really is remarkable. The left it is a religion. If it has never been this clear before, you guys can comment below. Smash the rumble button. It is so clearly a religion. I've always said this. It's secular humanism.
Yep.
There is no materially scientific basis for gender theory, period. Everything we know about it flies in the face of gender theory. And now, when you look at what's happening economically, every single metric we have with states that would be comparable, meaning taking large, diverse states with natural resources, with huge populations, without fail, the leftist ones do poorly and those that are more conservative do better. There is no exception to that rule. If you can think of one, give it to me. Now, don't try and compare, by the way, West Virginia to New York.
No.
Florida, Texas, California, these are valid comparisons. One of them is not like the other.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.